All right, continuing on the tradition, it's St. Patrick's Day. I got the latest thing of Soulfinder. I just opened up the box and I get a nice thank you card. Ooh, a coupon code, Kiro, to receive a discount at checkout. Wow, that is awesome. It's always nice to have a discount. Packaging in the box is really quite nice. I know this is a smaller volume. On another little card. Soulfinder 77. Original Henry. Oh, well, I guess they're doing tradable cards. Maybe they'll make a game out of it at some point. All right, we're doing this raw and live. I have not read it. It's still St. Patrick's Day by at least 40 minutes. It's a smaller volume. I'm hoping I can make my way through it. As I do every time, I haven't read any of the books since last St. Patrick's Day. And one of the reasons for doing that is to see how much I can retain, and also to sort of go along the lines of Jim Shooter. Every comic book should be your first. So can you get me up to speed on stuff if I haven't been reading the whole thing? But presentation is nice. I think I got this for $10 and the shipping was extra, but you know, it was good presentation for $10, considering some of my favorite comic books were 25 cents, but that was 40 years ago. How little the dollar is worth these days. Anyway, Noctis terroris. I am in no ways proficient with Latin, so if you hear me reading it, get ready to chuckle. Anyway, this is kind of interesting. I'm taking this as a horse head. And so, all right. This is an interesting new look. I'm not sure who the cover artist is. But it has a kind of a Bill Sienkiewicz, sort of thing to it, which I always really loved and admired his work on New Mutants and stuff like that. I assume that this is Blackfire, who is the main protagonist, or antagonist. Our main protagonist is Father Redder, who it kind of looks like him, but maybe not, riding the pale horse. So we'll see what this has to do. This is a smaller book, so I'm guessing that this is kind of like a side story of the main books, as I understand. There are 3 main books, and then there was another kind of smaller one that was took place at Arlington Cemetery, and it had to do with the embodiment of grief, I believe. And so we'll see what we're going with here now. But the other sort of thematic thing that was going through these was the first one, the Blackfire, I assume, uses fire as the main motif, because that's sort of the demon that this would appear to be. The second one had to do with water, as it had one of the... So Blackfire is a chief demon, and his subordinates, these were kind of done in the next one. And the third one had to do with the air as the theme, and it had the embodiment of a big spider, and also had to do with not exactly Shangri-La, but anyway, so we'll see what we're getting into. I'm just trying to remind myself, because I haven't really I've been very busy, and I have not, like I said, I'm going off of whatever happened the last year and the year before that. All right, so let's center up. The Order of Soulfinders was founded in 531 AD by Pope Boniface II for the specific purpose of combating the cult of the demon Blackfire. Due to Blackfire's power and influence on the psychic and spiritual plane, candidacy for the Soulfinders requires prior combat experience along with the vows taken as a member of the clergy. The ability to confront evil, both physically and spiritually, sets the Soulfinders apart as a rare breed. Good. So we're going to here are our main players. Father Patrick Redder, Soulfinder 79. I thought he was, maybe he's 79. Is the parish priest and exorcist in the sleepy town of Steepleton, Maryland, a veteran with combat experience from his tour in the Middle East. He is the newest recruit to the order. Father Reginald Crane, Soulfinder number 77, is the mentor to Father Redder and one of the most decorated members of the order. Having completed several tours in Southeast Asia, he was they called it the tunnel hounds, but a tunnel rat. Having completed several tours in Southeast Asia, he was witnessed and withstood several horrors on and off the battlefield. And Gregory Chua is one of Steepleton's newest detectives, having served first as a beat cop, a steadfast friend of Father Redder's. He relies on Redder's voluminous knowledge of the occult to help him with the more bizarre cases that occur around the city. I always get a laugh. It's a small, well, I guess he's calling it a city, but it's cooked up as like a smaller town. So the fact that they've got these many problems, it's always kind of amusing. I thought Redder was 78 if Father Crane was 77, but that detail is lost to me. I don't recall if they've talked about who 78 would be then. Oh, no. Maybe that was in the Tunnel Hounds. And I forget his name, but there was, I don't know if he was a brother or a priest off the top of my head, but he was in Vietnam with the Tunnel Hounds. Anyway, let's see. Written by Douglas Ernst, art by Eric Canete, colors by, you have to forgive my eyes, and I forgot my glasses. Bill Williams does letters. Colors by Giuliano Pruatelli. Covers by Eric Canetti. Eric Canetti. That sounds familiar. And Alejandro Mirabal. Additional art by Jeff Spokes and Rodrigo Aviles. Anyway, this is actually pretty cool. I gotta say, I like this art. It does remind me of some of the guys from the late 80s that I was really into. Not quite a Nolan, but there's something about that is reminding me of some of that work that came from that time. Or who was the guy who did Generation X? It'll come to me. It's been a long time since I've looked at that stuff. All right, so I'm assuming this is Father Redder, and he seems to be in a hot place, suffering. Hold on just a little longer. We're almost there, boy. So, Father Redder, yeah, he's got his bad wheel. Father Ritter got blowed up in the, actually it was a really stunning, memorable graphic from the first page of the first book. And he has a fake leg. I'm not sure where the amputation took place. But this is Father Ritter on a horse, and I'm not sure who he's carrying, but looks like he's found an oasis, and his poor horse looks like it's about checked out. So Father Ritter, of course, is drinking up this water, and the horse is vomited out a snake. If the pain feels real, it's because it is real. You're not dreaming, Patrick Ritter. This is something far different. The night terrors have just begun. Noctis terrors. Night terrors. Black fire. This is what you signed up for, Soulfinder. We will crash the gates of your imagination every night for the rest of your life. The symbolism here affects objective reality. Your detective friend, Gregory Chua, is dead because you've killed him. He just doesn't know it yet. So I guess he was carrying Chua on his back. You enlisted him into this war. You brought him onto this battlefield, and he will perish for it. Stapleton, Maryland, St. Michael's Rectory, 3 a.m. So this is cool. Pretty much most of the books will have Father Ritter being assaulted by various demons, but generally Blackfire is like picked him out because he's a soul finder and their nemesis. And I'm not sure necessarily who this is supposed to be. Maybe it's a demonic version of Chua. They won't stop, Red. I thought I was strong enough, but I'm not. This is the only way. Greg, no! So yeah, I guess this is the blending of reality and dream state. Why didn't you tell me? You're targeting my parents. You lied by omission. This meaningless suffering ends tonight. Bad idea to mix illusions, Blackfire. M1911, you got greedy. Wrong friend's firearm. I know all about the tunnel hounds. Sergeant Reginald Crane is a hero. Father Crane is my mentor. Reggie is my friend. Bad idea. Normally, you catch this first and then come through. But for sake of the... Anyway. Bad idea to mix illusions, Blackfire. So we got Chua, we got Blackfire. Oh, was it? Shoot, the climbing one. There was also, no, it was a scorpion. What, not spider? Well, no, there was a spider in it too. But I guess they're all kind of subordinate. Maybe a spider. I don't know. Anyway. So we have this blending of reality and dream state. A dream state that maybe feels all too real. And but that is kind of cool where Blackfire has made an error, and that's been the advantage of Father Ritter. Huh? So Blackfire gives him a nasty bite. It's not me who is in Christ, but Christ who is in me, his body and blood. And then he wallops this conglomeration of demonic things. Greater is he who is in me than is in the world. That's well said. And he's holding up the rosary, which is the great spiritual weapon. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like the scratchiness, and given the dream state, I'll say I like this art style for that. It's good lighting and a big event kind of thing. Eripe me de inimicius mes Deus meus et ab insurgentibus. I feel like I'm reading whenever I have to look up a plant. I feel that I have to read out the Latin. Insurgentibus, in me libera me, translated from Latin, deliver me from my enemies, O my God, and defend me from them that rise up against me. So he's focused, and that is in part one of the things that is really useful with the rosary, is it can focus you as a spiritual exercise. Your restless heart belies your tough talk, exorcist, priest, exterior. Your restless heart belies your tough talk exterior, priest. Sorry. Your love for your friends and family rivals your love of him. It will lead you to us in the end. 1/3 of the angels fell from heaven. It won't be different for your band of brothers. Each scar you receive from us will remind you of the brutal reality. Something I always think about when a third of the angels betrayed God and really betrayed themselves. But the good news is that means that there's 2 good angels for every demon, and they all are here to help. So he punches into the construct, and it is diminished. I suppose he goes to his closet, picks up his uniform. Oh, Jesus, through the Immaculate Heart of Mary, I offer you my prayers, works, joys, and sufferings of this day, for all the intentions of your Sacred Heart. Amen. Nicely said. And it's something for all of us to remind ourselves. Okay. Official memorandum. Dear reader, thank you for carving out space in your busy schedule. Mine has been. And you're welcome, Doug, to learn about the private struggles of Father Patrick Rutter and his fellow Soulfinders. One of the things I enjoy about short stories like Soulfinder Noctis Terrors or Soulfinder Warcry, that was the other shorter one, is that I can give readers a glimpse into a Soulfinder's life that would otherwise be shoehorned into main volumes. I wanted to establish with this story that rest is something that eludes a priest once he becomes a Soulfinder. Some of the fiercest trials he undergoes are never seen by the public. Yes, Father Rutter is prone to finding himself on all sorts of adventures around the world, but some of his most heroic moments, occur in complete solace. I hope readers make the connection to their own lives and private struggles. Everyone has crosses to bear that are hidden from the general public, but they are not hidden from God. You are never alone in your darkest moments because Christ is always by your side. I would like to thank my loving wife for her unwavering support of my creative endeavors. I would also like to thank Eric Kennedy. Eric Kennedy, I think. Yeah, I've heard his name. I haven't seen it written, so you'll have to forgive me. And everyone who helped bring this project to fruition. Releasing books without the assistance of artists like Timothy Lim and the logistical help of Iconic Comics would be an absolute nightmare. So I am deeply grateful for their efforts. Again, thank you for putting your trust in this series and so many other creators at Iconic Comics. I will do my best to keep telling stories that are worth your valuable time. Douglas Ernst from 2024. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Psalm 91, 8. And now we get the black and white art. Actually, I like that Doug has done this. It's not any sort of slight on the colorist. Actually, you can appreciate what a colorist does quite a lot. Yeah, this was very short and sweet. But it is really cool, I gotta say, Eric Kennedy, in order with line work to connote like the blistering sun and all that sort of stuff. That's really well done. And you can also see with so for instance, with our horse here. Now the snake, Blackfire, gets a bit sort of lost here, so kudos on the colorist to bring that out. And things like this too, where the register between the face and the hands and the water, like, there are times when he really cuts things through, but there is an atmospheric quality to everything as well, which is quite nice. When the two work together, it's a great effect. Like, this is really kind of nice how loose it is, but you still get a sense for place and everything. I don't remember this being as... I will say in the color that gets a bit lost, whereas I think it stands up much better in the black and white. But this is what's really awesome about the offering, is you get to see how these things are translated between each other. You can take your pick. You can decide if you wanted to watch the movie on the new color TV or the black and white TV. Actually, I gotta say, this is more clear in the black and white. All right, so the other thing too is there's no word balloons on these. So it's actually pretty interesting to see what the legibility of things are and do they read. Now this is all action with the cockeyed sort of panels and stuff like that. And definitely seems to be blasting from this direction and then a whipsaw in this one. But yeah, I think there's a little, whereas graphically this definitely jumps out, but I wish there's something about the construction of this that this panel gets lost in the fact that you had a word balloon right here. It's tough because you want the sound effect here for sure. You're not. It probably would have been better if there was a word balloon here and then maybe something here, but yeah, that's just kind of tricky. It'd be better if there were no word balloons and then maybe one here, which I think they actually do. Yeah. The problem is you're asking to go from here, this overlapping thing, that's fine. But this is kind of an important aspect. And definitely this needs to be here. But yeah, I would just say that the construction here, Doug and pals, that's tough. I wonder if this could have been M1911, you got gritty. Wrong friend's firearm. I know all about the tunnel hounds. Sergeant Reginald Crane is hero. Father Crane is my mentor. Reggie is my friend. Maybe you could have condensed some of this because you're repeating ideas. It is important, for him to like talk up his friend and how much it means to him. But for the sake of clarity, given that you're probably not going to have the artist redraw the panels, somehow get that information down here, and because I don't know that you could really put that over here in any good and useful way since it's crowding the thing. Anyway, these are the things I think about, and through these discussions, I always offer these as critique. And it's an examination into learning the craft. So when eventually I start publishing my own works and people will savage them, that I offer this as help. It's helpful to me and hopefully helpful to anyone who should watch this, and hopefully helpful to Doug and friends. Generally speaking, this actually has turned out quite nice. I think this has worked really well. It's a very short and sweet, and generally speaking, pretty clear all the way around. Some character studies and things like that. I don't know if this is supposed to be the horse head allusion to the Godfather. Kind of looks like Bruce Lee for some reason to me. Yeah, a short and sweet, which is appreciated. In some ways, maybe I wish there was just a touch more, just a little bit of clarity, like we're showing up and he's in the middle of the desert. So and there's an oasis. Now, probably structurally, obviously, maybe there's an allusion to Christ in the desert, or St. John the Baptist in the desert. And, well, it's Lent, so you could say that, being in the desert is where the demons, after the flood, are said to like wander. And so, this is why Jesus faces the temptations when he goes out into the desert, and the devil tempts him. And so that sort of longingness that we're starting off here, but it would be just I know it's sort of dream logic, and this is where you kind of start off, and it's readable. I can sort of figure it out, but I just kind of wish that there was maybe a way to sort of bring in a thematic, since you're going through the steps of showing this. And again, it's I think usually I'll go back and I'll watch every time I make one of these, and I kind of laugh because I say the same thing year after year, and so I'm trying to fight the temptation to do it again, but I think I have to. You don't have to beat someone over the head as long as you use a good enough whack so that they get it the first time. So all I'm saying is you have a very short and sweet story, and it's pithy, and it demonstrates a lot of things, but we don't necessarily, we have ingredients about things. I assume that this is chua, but it's not really said. So I wonder if there was, starting off here, we could get another page with a little bit of the setup, even though it's dream logic and stuff like that. You could, let's spend some time in the desert, sweltering. Why is he carrying his friend? It's the weight of knowing that you got your friend into potentially a bad situation. Yada, yada, yada. And I just, that just feels like an opportunity maybe missed. But, maybe you're on a page count and you really want to get to, I mean, on one hand, I spent a lot of time saying, show us the action, that sort of stuff. However, at the same time, there's moments of rest, and it is important sometimes to make someone sweat in the field. That way you feel like these things are earned, or they're, some, even in a dream logic situation, the desperation can be set up so you can say what, create any scenario you want, but it's sort of like can create a sense of the real reality of the events, and so you can kind of make a sort of a hazy stab at what's really going on, and a concern. And when, oh my goodness, this oasis is the answer to a prayer. It could be one of these things. If only I could get, everyone's going to die. We need water. How did I get here? Chua's riding on my back, or whatever. I'm trying to save him. I never should have done this. And then, so you already have the material is sort of being expressed that is exploited by Blackfire when he shows up. Or like, there's a certain of denial of this reality, him trying to take ownership of his dream world, where he knows he's vulnerable. Obviously, he's being attacked many times over. I guess that would be under the element of, it was just on the tip of my tongue. Possession, no. Oppression, I guess. Being kept up at night, or having restless sleep, just to keep you worn down, kind of thing. And that being the nature. So when the demon emerges, now we're seeing the pale horse and stuff like that. Maybe there's, illness or something like that, and he's worried about his friend, or in the dream logic. I'm just saying, you've got elements here. It would be nice if there was a little more setup that made this kind of work in a more literary sense. Since it's already pithy, take what you have and can you get these things to really be work like clockwork kind of stuff. So in the midst of the water and the desert, I mean, it could be like holy water. It could be, the thing, although I guess this is, I can't remember the book 2, when he's dealing with the octopus guy. Anyway, the Leviathan, for lack of a better term, which I guess is kind of, a water serpent. But that was tentacles, so it's octopus or kraken or whatever it winds up being. But anyway, you have this action going on. And you could also say, is it a reminder of baptism? Is it a reminder of the crossing of the Red Sea or the Great Flood, you have these moments in. No, I'm not saying it has to be that at all times. I'm just saying, like, you're going through these things. Didn't he say something about symbolic black fire? The symbolism here affects objective reality. Your detective friend, Gregory Chua, is dead because you've killed him. All right, see, no, that's good stuff. I'm just saying, like, the symbolism, help us out a little bit. Just give us a little, I mean, yes, the symbols are there, but help a Joe out. As you say, you're thankful that we took time out of our busy schedules to join in and read the adventures. Sometimes we, on our schedules, have a little bit of trouble thinking. And so, yeah, maybe it's an invitation to go back and try and figure out this stuff. But I'm just saying, like, just a little helping hand. Maybe reordering of the pages if you have a total page count, or just, an extra 1 or 2 pages. But all of it, again, like, works great. I think this is a beautiful slice of life. And the thing is, the use of the purple against the oranges. Now that's, complementary colors, that sort of stuff. But it's a fantastical, purple in particular, tends to be fantastical. And so we take this as we've been set up that he's waking up into reality, except with the way that it's drawn, but we still have the purple color. And so it could be the kind of a lucid dream kind of idea, like this is not really happening, but for a second he can believe that it is, which I guess it does. But outside of Chua being mentioned here, and I am assuming that this is Chua, it would have been good if we, got the Jim Shooter rules. I mean, this covers the Jim Shooter rules to an extent, but they're buddies. And hold on just a little longer. We're almost there, boy. All right, that's great about the horse. But hold on just a little longer. Chua, I'm trying to get you help. Just stay alive. Just stay awake. Keep talking to me. If that's Chua. I mean, I don't know. I can't be for sure. Maybe I'm missing something from another book. But there is no, like, reference. Soulfinder number 3. That's all I'm getting at. Just, I'm not, it's fine as it is. I'm just saying it. In my way of thinking, it could be more. And it wouldn't even have to require that much more to do. I think it's just set up and payoff, where you could get a lot of mileage out of it. There's something about the colors and the way that it's drawn. I really like this. It really reminds me of something from the 80s, maybe early 90s, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And normally I wouldn't. I kind of, like, if there was a word balloon here or there, pow. But greater is he who is in me than in the world. Which is a great tag. It's a good way to end the page. But I almost, this is, someone say something. I mean, it's cool by itself. I'm just saying there's room for stuff. I mean, it does have a lot of impact, but just a little blip or a little blip here, like, I'll do this, I'll do that, or don't say his name here, or, something. This is interesting with the half face. But why he manifests in this, other than I guess it looks cool. And the rule cool, you know, that always does need to be obeyed. But is there a particular reason why this is his form this time around? Is it a mockery of the Holy Trinity? Again, like, here's some things that we could explore. The only thing I would say here is, because I read purple as this dream state, when he has dispelled it, the demon is put away for the day. Let's get out of the purples. This needs to transition to the morning has risen, and he's going to work, which you kind of have like some colors and stuff like that. But I think that also would have been a strong graphic representation. Even I mean, you don't have to be something like he's standing in front of the window and you see the, you know, the clouds and the sunrise or whatever. But some indication that he is now in reality through color. I think that would have helped. In general, I guess I'm going to wrap it up there. Certainly, of the stories, I think this is one of the better ones. I think it offers an insight into the character and what he, like you were saying, Doug, if you do watch this. I like this quite a lot. Outside of you're getting me reading and going through it real time. And so constructively, I'm offering that with those added details, if it was there to be done, I think it would improve it. Also, like you said, the talking about things happening symbolically, I think there's a lot of a rich field to till, and you could get quite a lot out of it. In general, it's very worthy. I'd like to see some more things like this with maybe just a little more breadth. And I actually liked the artwork quite a lot. And outside of just some of the notes, I think this is pretty good all the way around. And so I guess I'll wrap it up. No need to beat a dead horse, if you get my drift, being that one. So we'll call it a day, and happy St. Patrick's Day.